Hello everyone, my name is Korosh Erfani. I am a sociologist and a political analyst. And on this day of Saturday, September 14th, 2025, I would like to talk about a subject that is a little general before the World War III starting tomorrow or in a few days. Let's think about something more or less serious, which starts with this simple question: why did the governments, and I am talking about the governments in many countries, not all the countries of course, but many countries, turn around against their own people? Why we have the governments that are not anymore representative, the real representatives of their people? Now let's see that, right? It's a question of something interesting. First, discrepancy is huge. There is a distance, discrepancy between people in general and their governments. The first one is you can find a lot of empathy among the people, among the nations, but not among the government or by the government. That's the first difference, right? The second is that the people are independent, the people are themselves, but the governments are dependent. They are depending on those who are paying them, right? These are the paid people somehow. Kind of, we can say, mercenaries of those who are paying them, while the people are not like that. So the people pay effectively, they pay a lot of taxes and so on, but the governments are paid, and they take the people's money and they use for their own interest, and that's something extremely bad. Let's see another features or characteristic. People are systematically looking for justice, and the governments are again systematically spreading injustice. And one can ask why. Another one, people, for example, are seriously against genocide. We are talking about the Israeli genocide in Gaza as an example. But you see that many governments are directly or indirectly supporting the Israeli government that is committing genocide almost 24/7 now for almost 2 years. And the question is why? Why, when the people are fundamentally, diametrically against genocide, the governments are supporting that? The people are against war. They don't want war because they have to send their children to be killed for the useless war, and the governments are waging that. Another one, the people wants facilities, support, schools, hospitals, universities, railroads, and so on. What about the government? Government spend the money of people for weaponry, bombs, anything that can kill the innocents. Again, why? Another difference is that the people wants the social policy, the policies that are in favor of society, in response to all the needs of society, but the governments are setting up the policies that are for the interest of the upper class, right? And the question is why? Why the governments should be in the service of the dominant class? Why not in the service of society? So another one, people want peace across the world, coexistence between people, nations, and so on. What the governments do, they spread hate, hate speech, hostility, animosity, you know, exactly on the contrary of what the people want. Again, people want the truth about different subjects, transparency, clarity, and on the contrary, you see that the governments are lying or hiding the truth, are very opaque. So it's not really what the people want. People want freedom, democracy, real democracy. And what the governments are doing is to hollow, to empty democracy and restricting, freedoms, limiting seriously freedoms. Look at that. This is a chart that shows how the sanctions imposed by the United States and the European Union have been killing the people across the world, between 1970 to 2021, right? So look at the number. 38 million people have been died because of that. They have been killed because of these sanctions. Sanctions for food, medications, and so on. Every single year you see something around 1 million people are killed directly because of this sanction. Do people want that? The question is very essential, because these sanctions are imposed by governments, by the United States governments, successive governments, or the European Union countries, states. So we know that if we let governments doing so, they will continue and they will even worsen that, right? In such a way that at a given moment there wouldn't be any return point, and these stupid governments will wage wars in such a way that at the end of the day we will have the World War III. Without any doubt, this is what they are doing. Now the question is what to do, what we have to do finally to stop that. So we have to put an end to this completely hollow, empty, shallow, meaningless, senseless, fake that has been established as democracy. It's not democracy. It's a fake democracy. It's a semi-democracy. It's just a show democracy. We shouldn't accept that as the real democracy. We should look for the real democracy. So the alternative can be a real democracy, and a real democracy has its features. We know these features or qualities: establishing freedom for everyone, different kinds of freedom, justice, social justice, economic justice, and of course peace between people, between nations, between countries. That's the particularities of the real democracy. These are the characteristics of the real democracy. This is what we want. This is what people want. And it has been said already, it had been established by the people like Abraham Lincoln. If you want to know what is a real democracy, here are the conditions, here are the features. That's the government of the people, not some corrupted politicians belonging to the upper class, the worst people possible. No, the real people, a government of the people. For who? For the wealthy? For those who are corrupted? No, for the people. And by who? By the people. Again, not by some politicians who are paid by lobbies like the APAC, for example, in order to make anything that Israel wants here in the United States or elsewhere. No, this is not democracy. Democracy is for the people. Democracy belongs to the people. Democracy is in the service of the people. So the kind of democracy that we want really is this one, a humanist democracy. A democracy that is for the human beings in the real sense of the term, in the real meaning of the term. And what is the particularity of the humanist democracy? Here it is. That will be a system based on the institutional respect, institutionalized in the people as individual, internalized in the mind of everyone, and also institutional in the meaning of structures of society, the governmental institutions. So institutional respect of what? Human life and human dignity. This is what we need. The respect of human life and human dignity for everyone, for every person, for every single individual on earth, regardless of nationality, race, ethnicity, religion. So here, this is what we want. A system based on the institutional respect of human life and dignity of Palestinian, of Israeli people, of American people, of African people, and so on and so on. Every single person. This is what we have to establish if we want really to get rid of this situation that is extremely dangerous, because it's pushing effectively, for the most part, we can say, for the interest of a very tiny minority toward the end of civilization. You know, it's a question of really get rid of the human civilization completely. So that's why we have to think about that, and I hope that I will have the opportunity to talk about this more and more, so that we can have the materials, to think about a collective action among all the nations, all the people across the world, to establish this real democracy, the humanist democracy. Thank you very much for watching.